Hello friends, how's it going? Today I have another Pokemon figure review for you. I always love doing review videos, so here's another one. The products that we have here today are Tomy figures. We have a 2-pack with Treecko and Torchic in battle poses, and then we have a 3-pack of larger figures, which are Charmeleon, Wartortle, and Ivysaur, which are also in battle poses. So let's take a look at the box here. We've got this really neat type patterning on the side here. I really like how that looks. It's all blue. Then we got the back of the box, which just shows the figures that you're getting, and then also has pictures of the figures that you could possibly get in the same set. We of course have the Treecko and Torchic from the middle there. And then we've got the other side of the box, which has the same pattern, and then you can see the figures on the side, which I think is a neat effect. And then here's the box for the Treecko and Torchic. Just looking at the side here, it's not very exciting. It's just like a little blister pack sort of deal, so that you can see the figures from the side and the top and all that before you decide to purchase it. And then here's the back with all the different other figures that you can get, which you've already seen on the other box. Then as you're taking them out, you can notice that the 3-pack comes with this interesting box and then plastic on top pattern, and then you can take the plastic out and you can see the box. And then the Treecko and Torchic come fastened with plastic and little rubber bands. Alright, so everybody's out of their packaging, and first I want to talk about Treecko because I love me some Treecko. So this pose is absolutely awesome. I love how it's like battle ready. I think that's what the package said was the point. But it's still really awesome to just be able to hold this. Now, talking about holding it, the plastic is a little bit bendy, which was interesting to me. Usually Tomy figures are very rigid, but this one's bendy, so I guess it could allow for more rough play. I don't know, that could also make it break easier. I'm not going to be doing anything too rough with it. I'm just going to display it, so it's good for me. Now it also has this hole in his butt, which is that's interesting. And then of course we've got the numbers here, which are just like serial numbers for the production, I assume, and then we've got some copyright information here. So overall though, this figure's really nice. It feels awesome. It's got that matte feel instead of the gloss feel that Tomy's used to have, which I think is pretty interesting that they changed that with the XY stuff. There's a couple of spots where the paint kind of is a little bit not 100% awesome. Like there's a little bluish spot there. I'm not sure if you can tell on the camera, but it is there. And then some of the molding is a little bit weird, like there's some warping here. But I mean, otherwise it's still really pretty, and you can't really tell unless if you're super looking at it closely, so I give this figure an A+. Then we got Treecko's battle partner, Torchic. Torchic is looking nice and angry there. I love how it looks all angry. It's just amusing to me because Torchic is just a little bird. But so this one has similar feel. It feels a little bit more sturdy because its arms aren't, well, it doesn't even have arms, but its legs aren't as long either, so you can't really move the parts very much. And then the little, I don't know what to call it, feather tuft, I guess, isn't really bendy either. So this one's a little bit more sturdy, and the paint job still has similar problems. You can tell there's a dot there, and then there's a dot there, and then there's a little bit of yellow coming out on top of the orange there, but again, not super noticeable. And then this one also has a butthole, and its little serial number here, and then the copyright information. So it's still a very, very nice figure. I love how it looks. It'll definitely look nicely on display with my Treecko. Now we're gonna start talking about the big guys. These guys are a lot bigger than the other ones by size comparison, and I think they were made to be sort of comparable to what their size would be, so kind of like Zukon figures, which are to scale. These aren't entirely to scale probably, but I mean the larger Pokemon are bigger, so I think that's a lot of fun. But so, this Charmeleon is really, really cool, and unfortunately I got one with a couple of scuffs. I can probably get them out with a Mr. Clean Magic Eraser, but I haven't had the time to try that out yet. But, so this guy's head moves, so that's fun, and both sides of the head look really, really awesome. I love this face shape that they have for Charmeleon. Sometimes they just kind of squish his snout down, which looks kind of stupid, but this guy looks menacing, and he's got his teeth and everything, so that's really, really neat. And his arms move, of course, so that it can look like he's, you know, swiping at his opponents, and his legs move as well, so he can be doing a little bit of a sit-down action, and, I mean, he can, you know, do a dance too, of course. And then we've got a tail that also moves, so that's awesome. So all of these little parts are posable, which could also pose a problem, because, you know, movable parts can allow for more places for breaking, so I mean, but the plastic is a little bit more rigid. I think Treecko is the only one that has kind of wobbly plastic. I'm not sure why that is, but these are probably meant for more serious play, so Hopefully the joints won't, you know, fall apart when you use it a lot, but it offers a lot of possibilities for posing too, because then you can be all like rawr, or you can have them sit and be all cute like this. So a very, very versatile figure, lots of fun, and I love Charmeleon so much, of course, so very, very cool to have this figure. Next up we have this Wartortle, and usually you can't do too much with a Wartortle figure. They're kind of, I don't know, it's like one pose and then that's all you got. But I mean, you can rotate his arms, maybe, yeah, you can do it backwards, which is kind of funny. And let's try the other arm, there we go. And then legs, I don't remember if his legs move. Nope, they sure don't. Okay, it looks like they might be able to, but you could theoretically pop them off by trying too hard, so I'm not going to try too hard, and then the tail doesn't move at all. So this figure is very sturdy too, though. It's very, very nicely built, and I don't see much of a potential to break them off unless if you try to pull the legs off. I think that's the biggest problem with this one, but this one has better paint. I mean, its shell is a little bit of scuffing on it, but that just happens with manufacturing. And then his little, I don't even know what these are called, his ears, I suppose, have some molding problems too, but that just happens with American figures. I mean, I don't know. It's not the same quality as they get in Japan, but I don't think Japan even has these, so that's pretty cool. So again, here's the copyright information here, and then this one does not have a butthole, neither did Charmeleon. I didn't inspect that, but yes, it's the same across the board with the bigger ones. So this figure is really, really awesome. I love how this one feels. And then we have what I think is the most detailed of the bunch. We've got an Ivysaur. Now this Pokemon figure is probably one of the best that I've seen because his pose is just so dynamic, and his mouth is open, which is neat because then you can see his little chompers, and he's got his vines out, which is really, really cool. I haven't seen an Ivysaur figure like that really ever, I don't think. But these are also bendable, so you know, you can thwack your opponents with them and stuff, and that can be a lot of fun. But Ivysaur does not have a lot of spots where you can move him because of his pose, so that could be a downfall, but you can twist his head around, so you can, you know, have him looking at different Pokemon, or like, being like, oh, what now, you know, have that little face on. So it's a really, really cool figure to have, though, and I really enjoy it. And the leaves are also, what is this called? Flexible. The leaves are also flexible, so be careful with that. But I think because of that, they won't break as easily, and that's probably why they did it like that. So this figure is absolutely amazing, and I really, really love it. This one is the only one I think that doesn't have any sort of paint issues, so that's pretty cool too.
Wartortle. Bah, brah. Oh no, there's a cat. No. Treecko, Treecko, Treecko. Torchic. Ivysaur. Ivy. Blah, blah, blah. Wartortle. Blah.
So I hope you enjoyed this fun review of these awesome figures. I really, really love them a whole lot. They're gonna look awesome in my collection, and they're a lot of fun to play with too, as you saw in that little demo there. I'm sure you guys can come up with better plots for their fighting and such. I just, you know, wanted to show how they could move and such. But I highly recommend that you get these figures if you can find them. I bought these at Toys R Us, but you can also find at least the 3 middle evolutions of the starters at Target also, which was interesting to me. So just look around. Toys R Us definitely has them though. So happy hunting, thanks for watching everybody, and I will catch you all on the flip side.